talking to the moon. They were talking to the moon. They were talking to the moon.
My career path journey was challenged when a friend spoke about my personality and my likes and dislikes, and commented that they felt that the path I thought I was going to be on didn't fit who they saw me as when I would express myself. And so I then went on, I would say, a 3-year journey of trying to discover who I am and where I see myself going. This was exacerbated when I met someone who spoke to me and said they really see me being someone who cares for people because I have such a nurturing and caring heart. And they suggested nursing to me, and I was like, that is that side. I, who was thinking of being an accountant at the time, was like, here. And so I prayed about it, and I was like, yeah, actually, this is true to who I am. And I asked God if this is the direction He saw me going, that He would remove the desire to be in accounting and in finance, and put the right desires in me. Little did I know that it wasn't just about nursing, but I had this whole big journey ahead of me. Because I had that in mind, I started to apply to places, and unfortunately at the time the finances weren't available for that, so I had to pause and I did my A-levels instead, and it was a whole journey of self-discovery those 2 years. So I'm glad those years came, so that by the time I got to the time for going to university, I was settled on doing nursing. But the NHS, which people in the United Kingdom would know, or people who just are interested, at the time was only allowing locals to do nursing degrees, because there was a grant out and people didn't actually have to pay for their nursing degrees. So that meant that I had to have at least lived in the UK for 3 years of my life in order to do a nursing degree, and I hadn't at the time, so I couldn't do nursing. So I sat down with my parents, and I was so adamant, and they were still in the shock of, transitioning from accounting to nursing. And I was pushing for it because I was like, this is who I see myself as and everything. And they say to me, go on, try and apply for nursing, see if there's any university that will take you. And if not, I suggest you try public health. So I was like, okay, this is the direction I'm going. Nursing is going to open up. And unfortunately it didn't. But looking at my story now, I feel it was good that it did open up, because I ended up applying for public health, and I went to a university called 𝚠𝚘𝚟𝚒𝚗𝚎 University in 𝚠𝚒𝚝𝚑, beautiful town, and studied my public health. When I got to 𝚠𝚘𝚟𝚒𝚗, I immediately started looking for places that did dance, and I found a friend at the time who was starting up a dance group, and immediately was interested and wanted to join, but I had some reservations because of certain things that I believed about music at the time. I had some reservations as to joining, so I went to a few, and after some time I felt, no, this is not true to what's going on in my heart. I need to step away. So I stepped away, and that stepping away time was also another time of identity discovery, because I had some relationships that were really close to me when I was in boarding school fall off. I had one of my closest friends as well, a relationship tie sever, and I found myself realizing I really want to do dance. So I ended up going back, and I joined the dance team, and eventually was part of the organizing, or the committee for the dance society, as a coordinator. So that was like, oh, hallelujah, because I wanted to do dance for a long time, and this was my first opportunity, and it wasn't the top of the top, but the person that started the dance group was very passionate and driven and was very detailed when it came to teaching different things like technique, and he was very much into animation at the time. So I really learned a lot about technique, musicality, foundations through my time there, as well as running a dance group. At the same time, I found myself transitioning, because I'm a Christian, and I found myself transitioning churches from one that was local to 𝚠𝚑𝚑 to one that was in London, which opened me up even more to a world of people that existed. My dance group, the person who started the dance group had a lot of dancers he was connected to in London. And though I didn't get to connect with those people, I got to understand the environment they were in when I would go on Sundays into London. I built a whole friendship community there, and by the time I was finishing my degree, I knew that I wanted my major project to be about the intersection of healthcare and the arts. And that's where my journey for the entity that I began. So when it came to picking universities, I started around the time when I had the first conversation with a friend applying for universities, and initially in my head I thought I would never leave Africa. That was my desire, never to leave Africa. But the same friend that brought up the nursing also brought up the possibility of me. They brought up that they saw me being called to Europe, and from how I am in my nature, that's the direction they saw me going. And I was like, at the time I was like, I'm never going to Europe, never, especially not the United Kingdom. And if you know my story, that's very hilarious. But before I say that, I do want to share a part of my story where I wanted to quit university because I felt like I should be doing a dance degree, and I was doing public health. And one of my mentors at the time told me to take some time to pray about it, fast about it, and I did. And when I did, I got this whole big idea of my career journey, where it could go, and who I am, my identity, why I'm in health, where it could be, why I felt like so many aspects and career paths could be me. And yeah, that's a big part to the entity that I am running, or the organization and development that I'm running today.
Talking to the moon. Say we're talking to the moon. Say we're talking to the moon.